Hey folks, Alan Saunders, Brendan Howe here with the Steelers Practice Report for SteelersNow.com. Just wrapped up training camp practice number 3 here at St. Vincent College. It was steamy. Brendan, I showed up a little bit late to practice. I had a family thing I had to attend to this morning. I walked in and it was just a wave of heat. I think this is one of the hottest days I can remember at some time. Mike Tomlin said he moved the practice to the afternoon because he wanted that heat. He got what he was looking for.
Well, it's my third day, so I don't have much to compare to you with that. But I think putting sunscreen on made me feel even more slimy today. I'm not sure. I don't know. It was definitely very hot. They moved the start of practice to the turf field because of the rain early in the morning. And standing on turf, obviously, it's
the turf is
10,
even hotter.
20 degrees hotter. So they started that way. They moved back up. They go onto the wet grass, and you're standing there saying sometimes you can feel as if the rain is coming up and the condensation is coming up and baking. Wasn't that way today, but it was still very hot.
Yeah, very hot, very humid. A couple of heat-related injuries, I guess you can call them, that the Steelers had to deal with. One also significant injury. Jeremiah Moon carted off with a calf injury. Of course, Moon, sort of fighting for his roster life here after the Steelers drafted Jack Sawyer. So that'll be something to watch for. And TJ Watt got the day off, so that meant there was actually a lot of reps to go around for Sawyer, Nick Herbig, and I thought those guys looked pretty well. I thought Sawyer had a sack in the team period. Even down to the later guys, Eku Leota and Julius Welshoff, they played a lot. Interesting, Mike Tomlin always talks about it. He gives guys days off because they're veterans. They have earned it. He wants to take care of their bodies, but also because he wants to see what those guys behind can do. Jack Sawyer in that mix today, I thought it was interesting. Got some first team run and had what I would call a sack of Aaron Rodgers. They're not. He got to 3 feet from him and said, "Oh, hold on, I'll stay right here." But I'll call it a sack.
Don't want to make that mistake.
Yeah, definitely don't want to make that mistake. Brandon, what was your big takeaway from today's practice, especially as it pertains to maybe these first 3? What can you put together from 3 practices so far?
Yeah, so going back to the first day, Patrick Queen intercepts Aaron Rodgers on his first pass. Darius Slay, I think you mentioned he was one of those guys that was out today, just kind of be out. And that allowed Jalen Ramsey to move to outside corner for a good portion of practice. Did really well. Covered DK Metcalf on a few occasions. There was also the coverage that Joey Porter Jr. had on DK Metcalf. The ball was thrown out of bounds. You said that it could have been a sack for Rodgers. Still, the twisting that DK Metcalf did on that kind of reminded me of Pickens' touchdown against Washington last year. The biggest takeaway to me, and we just wrote about this, was the way that secondary is kind of meshing. It could be the reason that Rodgers isn't looking spectacular at this point.
Yeah, I don't think Rodgers has looked bad, but if you were the kind of person that wants to count up training camp stats, I don't think they've been impressive. And the interception by Ramsey today was just an otherworldly play. Jalen Ramsey's covering Jonnu Smith. It's like a flag, and he gets 7 feet, 8 feet in the air to grab this ball. That's a guy covering a tight end. No one in the NFL that is being asked to cover a tight end at any point this year will be able to make a catch like that. And I think that's what the Steelers really get that they have with Ramsey that nobody else has. When their third corner, who's physical, who can rush the passer, who can stop the run, who can go cover a tight end, also can go kick outside and go man up with DK Metcalf whenever he wants. Nobody else has that. I think it's an incredible thing they're doing in the secondary. They're playing a lot more man coverage so far. Now it's early. They're still installing stuff, so I don't make too much of that. But it's not hard to look at the personnel and be like, they can go man to man with almost anybody really, and it looks pretty good. Peyton Wilson in that mix as well. Patrick Queen. So there's not a lack of coverage, guys, and I think definitely that's part of the story in terms of the way the offense has gone so far. We'll see. I think they're very talented on offense too. But they haven't had Jonnu Smith out there. Still definitely, some question marks at wide receiver too. Sort of an up and down day for Roman Wilson today. He had a nice break on a route early where he got wide open behind James Pierre. Mason Rudolph kind of hung it up a little bit too high, had to slow down and wait for it. Pierre and Chuck Clark were able to come together to break it up. So I was thinking good day for Roman, and then later he ran an out route. The ball goes by him just as he's getting his head turned around. That got him a talking to from Zach Ozani. He actually ended up talking to Aaron Rodgers about it after practice, and then went over 30 minutes after practice to go ask the equipment manager to put the jugs machine back on so he keep going. I don't think anyone should be surprised by some like up and down moments from a guy who has played one NFL snap. So like nothing really to be worried about or anything like that, but just interesting to see that the growth and the progression is not linear for Roman Wilson.
Yeah, and another guy that was joining Roman Wilson out at that point was Jonnu Smith, who, circling back to the Heat, is wearing long sleeves, compression pants. Like, I always wonder seeing guys wearing that. Like, that's got to be tough, but he did play in Miami. He did play in Atlanta. So there's that fact. And another person, wide receiver, that made a play today was Brennan Johnson, who he catches the ball on the sideline. You ask him afterwards, and he is very humble about it. Like, he doesn't want to talk too much about it. He just says, I made the play, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think Calvin Austin, again, was like a little bit up and down today. Had a drop on a scramble drill. Had another one where he got his hands on it, and I think it was Juan Thornhill kind of ripped it away from him. So, look, there's not overwhelming talent at that wide receiver position beyond DK Metcalf. So I think that's definitely something to keep in mind when we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and his sort of camp stats. Another area that has been a clear, I don't know if I'll call it concern, but a lack of clean play has been the quarterback center exchange. 2 times in a row, Zach Frazier has had a low snap on the first play of 7 shots. The second team, Ryan McCollum's been a little banged up. I don't know if he's got something going on or whatever. He hasn't taken his normal set of reps. That second team's had a lot of trouble with the snap, but Frazier said, look, it's not going to happen. It never happens for me. I don't know what it is, but I'm not worried about it. Mike Tomlin said, it's this time of year. We're not okay with it, but we expect it, and we'll deal with it and move on. So nothing anyone is ringing any alarm bells yet, but definitely something to watch going forward.
Yeah, you'll accept that in training camp, not to start off the playoff.
Probably not even the end of training camp. We'll accept it this week.
Yeah.
Anything else you got to wrap up today's practice number 3?
I don't think so.
We're getting chased away here. Thunderstorms in the area here at St. Vincent College. So for Brendan Howell, I'm Alan Saunders. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube channel. Sights and Sounds video from today is just one video up here on the channel. We'll have another one of these and more of that to come from St. Vincent College tomorrow. And then back to our regular Monday through Friday schedule with afternoon drives and morning rush on Monday. DB on the morning rush on Monday, on the afternoon drive on Monday as well. Until then, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.